We're very happy to have you back, even for a short visit.
This time we didn't forget the gravy.
No. 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 No.
Recorded to you live from the basement of All Saints Congregational in Annville, Texas, this is the Wicked Theory Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back. Let's take a look around and see who's here. Dom? Ed? Bob, you're here. We heard you playing guitar, so you're here, right? Bob?
Oh, yeah. Hey,
I got fucking nervous. But you know who we got filling in, Bob? We got a couple of guests. We got one returning and one first timer.
Was the Dominator and the?
No, listen, we'll get to them. You know what I mean? We'll give them their just desserts. Or just not desserts. But we got Stefanie from the Gotham Lights podcast on Skype with us.
Oh, cool. Hey.
Steph, there you go. Make a noise. This way people know I'm not crazy. But I am a little crazy because I let Palmer come back, too. Agent Palmer.
Yeah.
Hello.
It was kind of a need.
No, it wasn't a need. I mean, is it useful? Yeah, sure. But, well, what's interesting is that I was talking to Palmer, and I said, Dom and Ed aren't going to be in, and so what are you doing? He was like, well, I'm around, but you know what? Steph's not doing anything today, I don't think. I was talking to her, and I was pretty sure she was just going to do some writing. And I'm like, all right, see what she's doing. I haven't had her on the show yet. And then I was thinking about it. What's also going to be interesting is if I have Palmer on in the background to drive Steph crazy.
Yeah. He's good at that.
He's good at that. And Steph likes picking on him, I think. No?
I try.
Thanks for joining the show, Steph. No. I'm sorry. Was I breaking up?
Yeah. Is there a 7-second delay on this?
Do we need to go to video so you can see when I'm throwing it to you? I'll point at you. All right. So not to tease too much, but thanks for coming, Steph. It was really it's really cool to have you on here finally. And people can
absolutely.
People can check out Stefanie on a few places. They can check her out on the Gotham Lights podcast. Now, let me ask you a question, Steph. I know that show is a Gotham recap, but do you guys do other episodes or anything like in between the seasons?
Yeah. While the show's on break, we'll do kind of shows during the break where we try to talk about any news that's come up, castings, stories related to any characters that they might be introducing in the next season. Right. And we still have a listener contest going on too, so we've got that going on.
Oh, cool.
What were you going to say, Bob? You had a punchline or something?
I was thinking maybe if any celebrities are on the show, suddenly they get a DWI, you talk about it on there.
Suddenly, right.
Do a little TMZ kind of thing.
You need that TMZ sound effect. All right. So what's the contest you guys are running? Or is it closed or something?
No, it's still going on because we're basically going to be going through any entries that we received throughout the break. And we'll announce a winner at the end of it who will join us on the season premiere of Gotham for Season 3. So basically, listeners are writing in just a short little written summary of what they would say to someone to get them to come back to Gotham if they stop watching it. And we're going to read through our best ones and pick a winner out of that.
Is there a word limit to this persuasive essay?
Yeah, like 200, 250... words.
I would hate for you to all of a sudden get one entry that's like, I wrote 7 pages. I have to win just on volume.
How would you even know if it was 7 pages if you're writing it on your computer?
Well, on someone else's. Right, fair enough, unless you printed it off or something like that.
Well, they could send us an email, and then we could pretty much tell how long that email is.
Yeah, it's all kind of relative in a way. But that's kind of cool. I'm digging that. I hope the person you find isn't crazy. All right, and... good luck.
We have a good group of listeners.
No, you do. You do have a good following on that show, right? They're active. You guys get some emails and stuff, right?
Yeah, we get emails. We get a lot of tweets. A lot of people checking out the show and letting us know that they're listening. So it's cool. We love it.
Very nice. But you're also now on Geek Up and Go. Is that correct?
I am.
Is this accusation correct?
Getting busy, huh?
It is. It is.
So now you've been on that show since episode 1 or no?
Yeah. Well, depending on what we were doing. So it started off with us recording Jessica Jones, which is still ongoing, because basically what we're going to do is we're going to try to record all the episodes and then drop them all at once. So that's still going on. So we did that. And then while we were doing that, we also started doing recordings for Lip Sync Battle. So those, a lot of those are up. And that's me, Roy, Clint, Malls from Couple Things. And we kind of get together to do those. Then there's a couple other episodes that are like movie reviews that are coming out and things like that. So.
Nice, dig it. The lip sync battle episodes, you guys, obviously it's radio, you guys aren't doing any lip sync battles of your own, you're just kind of reviewing the shows, right? Is that it?
Yeah, we're just,
I was gonna say,
although I would be up for, lip sync battle, but it would be kind of hard podcast wise.
I could see Steph doing some Twisted Sister or something.
Yeah. She seems like
I want to rock.
Why would you pick that song? Do you know? Were you watching us at work today?
No.
Brian found it online and was cranking the hell out of I Want to Rock. He found the video, the old video.
It's a perfect song for that kind of thing,
God.
though.
And we were just regaling in the old haircuts and the stupid parts of the video and stuff where, like, at the end... when
with Dee Snider way up in front going like this with the horns.
Yeah, with all that stuff. Yeah, constantly. He probably has a cramp now to this day from throwing the horn so much, that guy.
Yeah.
And he's
trying to shoot
cancer
webs.
from the makeup he was wearing. But, all right, so Steph, are you aware of the situation with first-timers here? You've listened to this show quite a bit, if I've been led to believe correctly from your tweets and whatnots.
Yes, I have an idea what's about to happen.
Okay, so you are aware that when we have live guests, we give them a moderately uncomfortable, easy bake geek quiz. But when we have Skype guests, what's the new thing that we do? Do you recall, Steph? It's fine if you don't. If you don't, just say that. We'll move right into it.
I don't.
That's good.
No.
We play Super Fight.
Oh, right. Yeah,
Right. So now here's the thing. Since you're the guest, you get to pick your opponent. First of all, you don't have to jump to it right yet. You can think about it a little bit. But what we are going to do is I'll be picking the cards. And if you want to, we'll go on video so you can trust me to be picking randomly. It's up to you. Or you can just trust me.
I trust you.
All right, Bob is a witness. I don't know if you can trust him. Me and him are related. He might have a bias. I'm just saying.
I'll wear my glasses so I can see what's going on.
Oh, shit. That's probably going to help most of all.
All right, this way Steph knows I'm for real.
Don't put him on, Bob. Don't bother. She's not watching.
The glasses have come on.
That's it. Bob is going to look not only cool with the guitar, but intellectual as well. So, Steph, the moment of truth. Have you decided who your opponents will be?
Yes.
Who will it be?
Palmer, he's going down.
Oh, shit. He knew it, too. I told him we were going to do this, and he was like, she's going to pick me. I'm like, maybe not. You never know. She might think, it's too easy. So, actually, what we'll do is I'll pick for Steph, and Bob will pick for the kid. What's his name?
Who, me?
Yeah, you. The kid who doesn't talk.
Dog.
So, for those who don't know what we're doing, we're playing Super Fight, the game of absurd arguments. And basically, it's black cards and white cards. On the white cards, you get a card that tells you what your character is. And then on the black cards, you get attributes. And then basically, you and the person you're fighting against have to argue it out and see who's winning. It's basically like, if Hulk fought Superman, but with more absurdness layered in. So, this will be kind of silly. So, Bob... I'm going to pick, you can watch me be just kind of all random here. I'm just going to go randomly into the card here. I'm going to pick one white and one black. And then I got Steph's. And so you take one white and one black out of there. And you'll have Palmer's. And so, Steph, as Bob's picking, I'll tell you what you have. You have
one white and one black, right?
You have the Illuminati. You are the Illuminati, but you're afraid of water. So that's your standing in this battle. And Bob, what does Agent Palmer have against that?
Homer.
Okay.
And acid blood.
Acid. All right. This will be interesting.
Yeah.
My question is it Homer? It's not Homer Simpson.
I don't know. It just says Homer.
Right. I think it would say Homer Simpson because I've seen other cards. For instance, Sherlock Holmes is in here somewhere. So I'm thinking that's Homer from...
Like the Odyssey?
Yeah, like the Iliad and the Odyssey, or
The
whichever
writer.
one he's in. And I know nothing about
Yeah,
that guy.
I think that's the Iliad. That's about all I know about it. So
I hope that you've
Good
read
luck,
up.
Palmer. You're
I
on your own.
hope that you've read up Palmer, Steph, as the guest and the first to act in this particular way. I don't know if I've ever decided that, but this is how it'll go. What is the first move of the Illuminati against Homer? What do you do as a giant amount of people who are afraid of the water?
If I was the Illuminati, I know what I would do.
Bob, doesn't matter what you were going to do, Bob.
I know.
We're playing with other people.
I know. I want to hear
All
this.
right. So first
Think big,
move.
Steph.
First move, Steph. What are you thinking?
Well, as a large semi-secret organization, I think that we would pool our resources and, dig into the behind the scenes of Palmer's life and just kind of just ruin things. Like there'd
Well,
be
he's
like
Homer.
these little.
I know it's hard to separate Palmer. We all want to hate him, but it's Homer. He is now.
Well,
right?
that-
But that's
that
what
could-
you meant.
That could work too, because what we would do is, because of our infinite resources, we would go through all of his original texts and writings, and we would start changing things and like editing and
Just
just
edit
kind of
Homer out
fucking
of
up
existence.
storylines and
You would edit
and
him.
just
Edit
change
Homer
all
right
the
out of
endings
existence.
so they don't make sense.
So you'd
And-
basically cripple his reputation in a way.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. So that's your first. We'll say that's your first volley there, and
yeah.
refresh me, Bob.
Homer and acid blood.
All right. So what's a move from you, Palmer? What would you do to strike down the power of the Illuminati?
I'm going to do some due diligence and some research. I'm going to find some leads. And then, as a writer,
for a second, I thought you were going to mean like right now, like you were going to Google it.
No,
you were
no,
going to
no.
do some wiki lookups.
No.
Give me 5 minutes.
No.
I'll come back.
And then I will start visiting those leads to follow up, and I will stab myself with my pen and squirt them with acid blood.
Well, at least that's some kind of maneuver, I guess, for defense. But speaking of stabbing themselves, I'm ready to do that because this game's turned out lame a little bit. So, Bob, second round, just a black card, one more black card,
Oh, God.
and we'll see what their next move is. So now the Illuminati is not only afraid of water, Steph, but you're all riding a motorcycle. I don't know if it means all of them on one, or each one of them has one.
It's like the flying Wallendas. Like one of them's on the bike and they're all holding on to each
Right,
other.
it's just a
standing
giant
on top of
pyramid.
a giant pyramid.
Yes. They're coming at you like a wall of people, basically. And then what does Palmer have to add to his?
Oh, something very useful.
All right.
Made of sand.
So he's with acid blood.
Sorry, Palmer. I'm trying.
But you made of sand. Okay, Steph, what is your second maneuver, I guess? It's so ridiculous. It's sort of visual in my head. Steph, what do you got?
So we're going to take the motorcycle and we're going to flip off of the motorcycle and let it continue to careen towards Homer, and it'll crash into him. He will bleed, and because he has acid blood, it will erode and acid him away. And especially because he's now made of sand, he's just gonna, crumble and just be this mushy kind of pile of nothing.
Wow, that's perfect. I really don't know what kind of move at all or counter move he could possibly have. Palmer, how do you face that, or what's your play here, bud?
Well, since I can see it coming, I'm going to take...
Probably hear it, too, with the circus music in the background.
Yeah. So since I'm made of sand, I'm going to take a portion of me and throw the sand in their eyes. Hopefully it will blind them, and they will, as the flying Melindas don't often do, fall all over each other. And
Just
break
collapses
bones
a
and shit.
pile of people.
Like a bunch of bowling pins.
It's not a bad maneuver if you can pull it off in time. At least get the driver. Just throw your own hand of sand, basically, into his face. I don't know. Me and Bob got to judge on this.
Oh,
I don't
God.
know. I got.
Go ahead, Bill.
I didn't think Palmer would have a counter move on that at all. I was like, what do you do? You know, you just kind of stand there and take it.
It was a respectable move.
If the Wallendas can pull off that thing where, you know, even if, here's the thing.
We got to remember the Wallendas are the Illuminati, so it's like from the very first one.
That's true.
I think it's over.
And it's not just the Wallendas that are piled up on this. It's the Illuminati. You've got all kinds of guys in there, astronauts maybe, or Freemasons.
The flying Wallendas on the motorcycle is just a representation.
Right. Well, you get one of them's got to be in the Illuminati. I mean, there's a bunch of them, and that guy drives. That's what I'm thinking. But I think even if he gets the hand of sand into that guy's face, it still crashes into him.
Yeah.
So that's how I think that goes. I think either way he gets smattered by, and then obviously then the acid is all over the Illuminati people. But hey,
but you got to get all of them. I mean, if you're just talking about a blind splash,
right?
You know,
you're not going to get everybody.
One might get on the toe.
Right. Nixon's ghost might not have gotten any on him or something like that. All right, so who do we give it to on this one? Who do you give it to?
I really think Palmer lost out of the gate. It's just
a
bad pick of the cards.
It's the Illuminati.
Yeah,
it's
the Illuminati.
It's going to stack against you no matter what.
If they like you, they'll let you live and have good food and cars and stuff. If they don't like you, they'll destroy your life. So
I think they would let Stef in, but not Palmer. That's what I'm thinking. So, Stef, I think you got that one. Congratulations. I don't have a prize to give you, but I think me and Bob are saying that you won this round of Super Fight.
Woohoo!
Super Fight! And what matters more is that you beat Palmer at it.
I did. I called it. Told you.
I called it. Told you. You were going to suck. All right. So now that we are done with that, that is our way of indoctrinating guests. We play a little game with them up front. We do news. We shifted things around for those who might have forgotten, or you might have heard episodes and skipped over a couple and came to this one. And so now with news, we do at the front. And we moved emails to the back. So, it was a hard week to really kind of find stuff that was like, oh, yeah, that's easy. But so stuff that some people have already kind of talked about a little bit is that Superman is going to end up on the Supergirl show finally. But like for real this time, not like in a shadow, in a fuzzy frame picture.
Is it going to be Harry?
Harry?
Or Henry?
Henry?
Yeah, what's his name? Cavill?
Oh, Cavill, Imagine? Well, no. They ain't got the budget for that. We moved it to the CW, remember? And moving it to Canada. So, I don't know if there's really a whole lot to go on about with that. But, I mean, I think one of the things it shows is that, like, now, between going to that network and now Jeff Johns kind of running the show, Hollywood end, maybe the company cares a little bit less about this whole preciousness they had about Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman being restricted from showing up there at all.
Right. Well, I think definitely there's motivation now to do whatever they have to shore up the brand.
Yeah.
Before they totally destroy the brand.
I think maybe it's a little bit of that too. Maybe it's a little bit of a way of saying, let the TV shows be maybe more classically comic booky. And then the movies can kind of be where we do the variations and something that feels maybe a little bit different or more mature. Like, so like you'll get something that feels more like classic comic book stories and love. Definitely on the TV shows. Right. They got the time to fill. They want to do that stuff.
The Frank Miller style Batman, that kind of thing, that's going to stay like a PG-13 movie. You're not going to see that in the TV. You might see more campy Batman if you're going to see Batman at all.
I think the thing we're probably going to end up seeing, though, is just that as far as the TV channel shows go, less interference maybe is the thing. Because supposedly, a couple of people from the cast even finally admitted to it this season that, like, over on Arrow, for a long time they were building up Suicide Squad. And then as the movie was becoming more of a real thing, they were told to kill them all off, basically, from the studio. Like, we don't want to have that cross-confusion. But it's like, well, you're the jerks that are insisting that there be that cross-confusion. Like, your rule by default. Like, so what? So what are you going to do with a show like Arrow all of a sudden if you decide to do something with Arrow? You're just going to cancel the fucking show? Because you're gonna do it with Flash. You're going to work through the growing pains of that or whatever. So why say no to Suicide Squad then? Let there be a TV version of Suicide Squad. You're doing a Flash version on TV in the movies? I don't know. Anybody?
Bill, go ahead. You guys talk.
Bill, you think that they might at some point down the road change their mind and be like, you know what? The CW universe was just Earth 3. and the movie universe was Earth 2, and then in 2 years from now, there's going to be like some massive crossover event.
Well, that's like a fan theory that still, like, no matter what you ever do, will always be possible. You know what I mean? As long as you don't tie them directly to each other in some other way, it technically is. You know, it's always an alternate version. It's always, you could just say every version ever, Christopher Reeve is Earth 25. Like, you know what I mean? And you know, or whatever, like that version of Superman, you know,
That's
or
be route for anything.
You know, exactly. And you could do it.
Yeah.
You could do it. I mean,
Well, and-
what makes it easy for them to do that is because all the rights are in house. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Because and CW has kind of paved the way for these crossovers with these DC entities, because they've had, you know, Flash crossing over into Arrow and vice versa, and then the Supergirl thing. So they've got that down. So they definitely have the ability to do it, and they've been doing it well. And the other thing, you know, CW definitely has a wealth of actors they can kind of pull in to come and audition for Superman. So it's possible and plausible for them to do that and hopefully do it well.
I just saw
Bill, you're
James
in a
Van Der Beek.
I was gonna say I kind of just saw in my head too a thing where it's like, you know the movies can do it on because they're, as much as they're bigger, they have to be smaller sometimes with their stories. They have to condense things, so they could do it like on a micro level, where the series can do it on a macro level, where, like, you know, the TV series can have its bigger version and establish all these multiple Earths, and then, like, you know, in the Justice League movies, it could just be one movie. And all it really takes to tie it all together is like a scene where, like, you know, there's a whole bunch of bubbles and they all have like a little person inside them, like, you know, and it's supposed to, like, some representation, some floating object, some face in the clouds bullshit like you always see in these movies and stuff, where it's like you see other versions flash by, but it's all TV versions. And there goes Christopher Reeve, or there goes George Reeves. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that's all it would take, you know? Because the movies would probably want to do something like that one day, build towards it. Let's do Crisis of Infinite Earths. We'll do that actual story in the movies. And then, like, you know,
Right.
we give them a little, you know,
Just buy up
kudos.
the rights from whatever footage we need to use these images in the movie for this scene and make it cool for everybody.
Yeah, and that's all, you know, down the line, that's all it would really take. You know, and let them be their two separate things. But just let the TV series, like, look, you can say, we don't want to do a Batman show, we don't want to do a Superman show, we don't want to do a Wonder Woman show.
Right.
But
Just
don't make, like,
acknowledge.
right. And you don't even have to give me them all the time. You know, you can have one guy play Batman, and, like, he just pops up as Batman, like, once in a fucking while through the shows, all those different shows. Like, you know, he doesn't have to have a series, really.
Right.
He's fucking Batman. Like, you know, he just, okay, this season I pop into
Right.
fucking...
They're filming Gotham, so I have to leave town now.
So I have to get to Central City. I gotta pop up on Barry's roof. Like, you know what I mean? This kind of shit. Now that I think about it, can I see Batman trying to traverse the rooftops in a suburban area and not in the city area and see what that's like? But that's a whole different thing. Palmer, did you have something there at the very end? I know that you jumped in.
I was just going to say it's going to be more exciting for you know, these geek podcasts like you to start debating which is the better. Well, I mean, you're close enough to which is the better Flash, but as they start doing more and more movie and cinema characters, it's going to be like, you know, who's the better Flash? Who's the better Aquaman? Who's the better Arrow?
And then how do you stack it? Because then it becomes about, well, which story was really better? And it's like, does the story of the TV have like an unfair advantage in a sense? Not necessarily, but because it's got 25 episodes, it's got 40 episodes behind it. Like, you know, so you have all that much more time to fall in love with that version of the Flash. Whereas, you know, the movie Flash,
Or you have
like, you get,
all
like,
that time to not fall in love with him.
or right. True. Not everybody's a fan of it, but what I'm just saying is that, like, you know, whereas with the movies, like, you'll get, you know, sure, a big budget version of Flash, and it'll look 10 times as amazing, but will you come out loving that story as much as you do the TV show because you've spent all this time? You know, it's like, you know, it's like, yeah, my new friend is cool, but this friend I've had forever is just as cool, but I know him forever on top of that.
More time to get invested in one over the other.
Yeah, you know, I'm only going to lend one of these two guys $100 cash. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, which friend?
You definitely
I was like, what was
have
that
like
analogy?
No, I heard a noise all of a sudden.
Oh, I didn't know what that face was. I thought that was like I said something crazy. Steph?
Well, you definitely have then a wealth of knowledge or information for comparison if they're going to keep doing these characters and introducing them in TV shows and in the movies. So it's perfect for podcasts and to talk and even to see how they differ and how they are similar to each other, which is always great to compare and see which one you're a fan of.
It almost sounds like a show we do someplace else. A podcast about this preacher. I don't know if anybody's heard of it.
That thing.
Yeah. It's it's just a natural segue. I'll just slip it right in. Preacher versus preacher vs. Preacher to be specific, and that's out on the iTunes, Google Play Music, and Stitcher. Check it out if you're into that. Thanks, Steph. That was nice of you. So let's. We spent a little too long on that. Let's jump over to Netflix. Has clarified that. All right, they got the rights to. They made a deal with Disney, and the thing was, I think everybody thought they were getting everything that Disney ever did. In their library, and it's like, well, slow down. It's just current releases. Movies? It's just from now. Right now, the deal is current stuff and moving forward. So when it starts, it's going to be nothing, not all the library stuff yet. Disney still is keeping their tight paws on those. Mm-hmm. As long as there's a physical format, I think Disney's always going to have.
Disney loves their vault. They can't get away with the can't get away from the vault.
That's the thing that kept them from going under back in, I think it was the end of the 80s.
Mm-hmm. Every year some rare okay, we haven't released this in 12 years, get it now.
Touchstone Pictures wasn't doing it anymore for them, and they were just staying alive with the help of Blockbuster Video and
between that and the theme parks,
27 times.
And maybe the Ice Capades or whatever the hell that shit is.
Right.
It's what kept them alive.
And look at them now. They own everything.
Disney on Ice. You know what I mean.
Sorry, they probably own Ice Capades too.
That's probably what it was. They probably bought it up and then turned it into a
shell company.
Yeah, something like that. I'm sure. It's the same people probably wrote it or arranged it or whatever they do. Ice people. Yeah. So so I don't know. I mean, I'm not the big crazy Disney fan, but it was just funny how people just kind of went freaky and bag nuts.
Still, but you are because now Disney has. No, hold on.
Stop.
Hold on.
Stop.
Palmer, if you value your position in Wicked Theory, you should better stop there.
He doesn't have a
What
position. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good. See, that was points. I'll give you points, Palmer, for recognizing. Oh, okay.
He actually does have a position here. It involves his head being between his knees.
His own head shoved up his ass? I'll get graphic.
No, Bill, what I was going to say was you're going to get your Star Wars and your Marvel stuff out of this going forward.
You would think so, but I don't know if those conversations was on the table. But no, but I totally agree with you. I always kind of saw the Marvel deal maybe as a backhanded way of Disney slowly finding their way to do those kinds of things. At the very least, more deals for original content, but also in the long run, their library of stuff, because they don't have a digital. They don't seem to have a real digital model going on yet, and which we're going to see more and more. CBS is hinging their next Star Trek show on being the anchor for their digital version of their content distribution. So instead of all their stuff being on Hulu and Netflix, and over here, it's you'll definitely be able to find it all on them for a subscription. You know what I mean? Plus original stuff. Anyway, I'm diverging a little bit, but so there's that. And then Kevin,
pretty good.
Yeah, and then Kevin Smith has announced that I don't know how he's
spot,
but he doesn't have to announce that. This is actually I've come out of that pot smoking. He's decided that he's been working towards getting Mallrats picked up as a 10-episode series. He didn't say who he was talking to specifically, I don't think. Palmer's got the article open. He can scan it. I don't think he might have actually. Actually, I think he did. I think he said it was Cinimax, maybe? No. That can't be.
No.
Right.
No.
Oh, you just
it's not. But they do mention Ash vs. Evil Dead and Wet Hot American Summer First Day of Camp. So but one is
Showtime?
Stars, right, and the other's Netflix. So
they're definitely following unconventional non-network.
Yeah,
and non-cable. It seems. Maybe not non-cable, but non-conventional network stuff. Obviously, because who else is going to pick it up?
Right. He should consider redoing the Clerks cartoon.
Clerks cartoon is great.
It's awesome.
I loved it. Better than Clerks.
You know what? The Clerks cartoon, any like reboot of that got completely taken over by those Smod cartoons where they just animate the podcast.
Oh yeah, those are fun too. Don't get me wrong. I've watched a bunch of those. That's a rabbit hole you can get stuck in. But that's, a
rabbit hole you can get stuck in, like Homestar Runner.
No, like the dog from Cujo. Great reference on both sides of that one. I'm just saying. First time Homestar Runner and Cujo ever ended up in the same conversation. So anyway, people can look forward to that. I think he was saying that the deal isn't finalized though, so we'll see what happens. If you're a big fan of Mallrats, of all Kevin Smith's properties, Mallrats, the driest one a little bit. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's got good stuff in it.
Yeah, it does.
But it's pieces. So whatever he does here, I don't remember if the idea was new or picking up where things are now for those characters or whatnot. But I don't know, we'll see. Also, Marvel has
I'm sorry, before you get started, is Jason Mewes going to be involved?
Probably at some aspect, some way, shape, or form. He'll make an appearance, I'm sure.
Because by now he's going to look kind of old if he's going to be running around with the Mallrats.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's not for nothing. They're all going to be looking old, and I saw pictures from. They're making a follow-up to Train Spotting.
Okay.
Train Spotting. So that's Ewan McGregor and
that was one of his breakout roles, right?
Johnny Lee Miller. Is that right? Yeah, Johnny Lee Miller. Mm-hmm. And so seeing the picture of and granted, it wasn't like an official photo. It's like someone took it off to the side, paparazzi type shot. And hey, they look like they look now, but it's like if you go look at the picture of them, they were fresh. They were very, very young, fresh-looking twinks.
Yeah, so he's going to do this whole thing again. They're going to go and get Botox at the same time.
Yeah, right. They're not going to be shooting heroin anymore. They're fucking.
If they're shooting Botox, keep them looking young.
So,
I think the other thing is how do you? I don't know if Mallrats translates. Do people even still hang out at malls?
Well, not even that. It's like, well, what is any of the content in that? Because it's like, it's kind of about a comic book guy. It's kind of about the relationship and like the whole being in love with the lesbian thing, and like so, all those.
Oh, that was Chasing Amy.
Oh, that was the good one. Mallrats is the one that when you mentioned it, you go, Stan Lee was in it.
There you go.
Okay, right. I mixed him up.
His very first cameo.
I mixed him up a little bit. All right, so I guess I haven't seen Mallrats in a really long time. I think Mallrats might be the only one that I saw definitely once, and I might have been really high when I fucking saw it. So enough of that. Marvel has the Marvel comic Scarlet.
Well, they have good karmic right now.
They do have good karmic.
Lots of green dollar bill.
That's when you have good karma with your comic properties. You have good karmic. So, or not to be confused with Hardcastle McCormick.
No.
They've Brian Michael Bendis does this comic on their Icon line. I think it's on the Icon line called Scarlet, and it's basically female vigilante, really gritty, realistic, grounded. Kind of like a play on Punisher a little bit, but sometimes a little more intense and a little more like pushing like the boundaries. Like she's actually like on a different kind of a mission and purpose. I'm not fresh on it. I think I only read like the first issue or two, and it's a little vague on me right now. But
so this is like a lady Punisher.
To a degree, she kills a lot of gunplay, I believe, and I don't know if
a lot of mobsters on her hit list.
It's a corrupt city kind of thing. She's killing cops and stuff. You know what I mean? And it might be mostly about her taking down the police, I believe. I'm not 100%. But it's being developed by Cinimax. I think Cinimax is making a hard play to really kind of like up themselves with content that's like...
Well, I think they've seen now that Starz is actually having some success. And if they're going to be able to keep playing in this field, they got to step up.
I think what they've both kind of realized is that obviously it's easier to take a property, it seems, and bring it to a visualized place, because it's not about like necessarily the fan base all the time for any of these things. Like the fan base for Scarlet is not what sells that project. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
because it's tiny. exactly.
They're
You know,
just looking for content, and if it's
Yeah.
if something that comes across that seems like it could be good,
yeah.
and it could be done on a reasonable budget.
And I think a lot of
Why not
times
give
what
it
it
a
is
shot?
for these non-superhero comics things, the thing that helps to sell them is that, like, oh, on paper it sounds like, you know, it could not be a comic. It could be just a regular story pitch.
Right.
But then
Plus, it's still a property that has had some legs of some sort.
that, and during the presentation, like, you have the materials already in front of you. Like, here's an idea of what it will look like,
Right.
of what goes
There's
on.
no question of how the story would play out,
Right.
because you see, you got to play by play a screen.
You got right. You have that to go on, at least an introduction to the studio heads
You
or
have
whatever.
the drawing board all
Yeah,
done.
in the pitch meeting, like, you know, you don't have to get a storyboard artist. You know, it makes it a little easier.
Pretty much.
You know, so that was interesting
They
to
can
see.
also they can also set the
Oh,
they can
hi,
also
Steph.
set the storyline. Hi, fuck, I'm still here. Surprise!
Shit. What were you saying?
I was just saying that they can actually in that way too is make it set more in reality by having it be a character that maybe most people don't really know, but also being on a network where they can have it more involved in modern times, in modern day, have it kind of fit the kind
Right.
of the stigma of right now, the current time frame, but then still have it be enough of a superhero basis to still bring in fans of the superhero genre.
Yeah, I think there's enough that we're like, and even like comics now is they're starting to really kind of, this, you know, the market that grows up and gets tired of reading the comics, superhero stuff, rather I should say, you know, and they're reading the books like Walking Dead and Outcast, or you know, even Preacher, you know, back when it was new. I mean, Vertigo, you know, kind of paved the way for that kind of content having a following in a way, like, you know what I mean, like long term,
Yeah.
like it was from a company to kind of get behind it, you know. But yeah, the
now
studios,
it's more like
right.
the fans are wanting something more. They're wanting something different. So they're wanting to have these favorite storylines visualized now. They're looking at, okay, well, we see all these great Marvel movies and we see, you know, DC and the DC stuff on TV. What other things can they now do that we can finally see visual in a either film format or TV show format that has never been done before? And comics and stuff right now are a big thing. I mean, they're really pulling in money. So and you've got just a plethora of comics and storylines and story arcs and just different things that you can pull from to basically make TV shows from.
Well, that's what I like about it is the fact that what you're getting now is the second wave of it, where it's like, okay, superheroes are kind of obviously inherently higher budgeted, so let's find some other stuff. But I think that what's nice is that it's making people aware in general that there are comic books out there that aren't superhero stuff. Like generally like when people hear something like Preacher's a comic book or The Walking Dead is a comic book, they're like, oh, okay. Like, it doesn't maybe get them right into the store, but it is kind of like a light bulb for some people.
Yeah, it does serve to change the
idea.
perspective.
Yeah, you know, like, oh, there's
Yeah,
stuff.
it definitely puts it in their minds. Like they start thinking about it and going, "Oh, that's something I could go check out."
Yeah.
'Cause I've never really read too many comics or stuff, but hey, this show looks really cool. Now I want to see what the source material is like, and that does then bring more people to the comics and reading those and getting interested in that, and then going from there. So it also then vice versa helps the comic book industry again too to try to get new blood in.
Absolutely.
Plus, we got to look at there's another side to this too, because we have a lot. Like we were just talking about before, there are a lot more avenues for content now. You got more people, more companies going on this route. I mean, since Amazon had some success jumping in with everybody else, now Yahoo's involved.
Yep, Yahoo's original content, Hulu's original content.
They're all doing original content because, well, this is why you get more money in the long run from original content as a license holder.
Well, it's,
you know,
there's that, but it helps them that exclusivity, like, you know what I mean, especially with Netflix. Because Netflix thing now is like, it's not just that we have everything, but we have these great series that everybody talks about. Like, you know what I mean? Everybody just kind of jump, like, you know, we're water cooler series. Like, you know what I mean? So
word of mouth.
Exactly. So, yeah, as more avenues now become like looking to do it, and now these cable networks are getting hungrier. Like, if you look at a network like
FX.
Well, even FX, because they're doing some comic stuff in the pipeline right now. But the one for Outsiders,
WGN.
WGN. It's like I never even heard of that, and it's relatively new around here. I think it comes from somewhere else, but like they're putting a ton of money behind these two shows that they've got going, and they're making a dent.
Yeah, they got that slave show.
Yeah,
it's like a rebellious group of slaves.
Yeah, wow, I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, it seems like it's actually a decent show.
Yeah,
but then they have Outsiders.
Outsiders, yeah.
And that's getting some traction.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're not going to be breaking big numbers because the network's just not on the radar, I think, for people. But they are not letting that stop them. I mean, the campaign and the push for it is big money. Right. So,
well, yeah, because now these are original properties too, I believe.
Yeah,
if these are original properties, then they can have they can have success later with these. And if they're getting poor, if they're getting weak ratings as it is, just because no one knows that the station is even in their channel list,
sure, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter to them
because they're getting enough ratings on that channel,
right? To be they're okay with those ratings,
right?
So they're okay with the expense because in the long run they're going to be able to take the show, and they're going to be able to sell it to Netflix or to Hulu.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Or Yahoo, and get more play out of it that way.
Yep. All right, so moving on into movie stuff. Movies. You remember movies.
Yeah, popcorn.
Popcorn. Batman.
Overpriced popcorn.
Batman the Killing Joke cartoon, the animated Batman the Killing Joke, is going to come to theaters for one night only, for one showing only, and only to like a handful of theaters, I believe is how it's going to go down. But
okay, so who are you going to kill to get your ticket, Bill?
I don't know. and where's it going to be, and how am I going to get there? Probably going to be in the city. If it's in New York, it's probably going to be in the city.
I would have to imagine it'd have to be New York City.
Yeah, it had to be Manhattan.
It's all right. It'll only take one person with a ticket who has a video camera under their shirt.
That's true. That's true. But if any, screenings are going to be monitors, it's these.
Or if they just show it in Korea, because nobody goes to the theater in Korea.
Well, it's going to be a digital release anyway, so all it's going to take is the day it comes out for it to end up somewhere ripped. So I'll just wait for that, since it's I'm definitely not going to bother watching a cam copy of this.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Because.
Yeah.
This is the one night only for Monday, July 25th.
Yeah.
It will either, they're saying 7:30 and 10 o'clock local time in participating cinemas. Okay. Which means if you really wanted to, you could go twice. The article says that the tickets will go on sale June 17th. Mm-hmm. But interestingly enough, this is a Fathom event. And per usual, some extras will be shown, so including a special introduction from Hamill, plus a never-before-seen documentary about how he was cast in the project and what the role means to him as an actor and a fan. And the event will conclude with a special behind-the-scenes look at how the Joker's memorable yet disturbing song and dance number was recreated for the feature. So, aside from all of that other stuff, what this tells me is that if you miss it in the theater, if you cannot wait, get the digital download, but you're going to want to wait for the Blu-ray so you can get all that extra stuff.
Does it say areas, locations, or anything like that?
Not yet. Okay. At least not in this article. So,
it's going to be like here in New York. It's going to be
New York, L.A., Chicago, these kinds of things. Yeah. It's going to hit the big 4 or 5 locations and...
I hope it hits more than those.
No, absolutely. Me too. Yeah. It would be nice. It would be nice if, almost every state had at least one spot.
Right. It would be nice if they tried to say, okay,
I'm hoping major cities at least.
Major city at least. Yeah.
It just seems a little. They spent all the money. Like, why not just? I understand if you don't want to mass release it to every theater.
Well, I think here's the thing for them. It's rated R, and it's animated. We just had rated R Deadpool. And parents didn't know what the fuck to do with it. Now you're going to put a Batman cartoon that you can't, on TV, really show that it's how rated R it is. You know what I mean? In a commercial to kind of let parents know that this ain't no regular cartoon. Yeah, if they miss the R rating, if that goes over their head somehow, that's it.
I read Killing Joke a while ago, but that's pretty violent.
Yeah, it's a fucked up book.
Yeah. but I mean, does this have any... argument with Sausage Party? Because Sausage Party is a rated R animated movie.
It's going to be the same thing.
The idea is that that's getting a mass release, though. So
fair enough.
Is it because this is a superhero movie that they're like, we got to tone it down?
I think it's because the studio... I think it's because
I don't think it's necessarily that.
Yeah.
I think
What I think it is, it's Fathom Events. So Fathom Events, who I love because they do a lot of Doctor Who stuff in theaters. I don't think they're still that huge. So they probably don't have as much pull and association with all the movie theaters.
Okay.
So they usually tend to do limited release type stuff, like the Doctor Who stuff, and usually in major cities, and only like a couple theaters here and there, even in the major cities. So I think it has partly to do with that. They're not very, very big, so they're not going to have the pull and even probably the finances to push it to more theaters. And then, as Bill said, then it's also probably the studio and stuff too. They are probably wanting to. So yeah, I would say so. I mean, it would be the first time that this is being played on theater screens. So there's probably a lot involved with every decision being made for this one.
I think as far as keeping it from getting a full wide release. What were you going to say, Bobby? Good?
No, I lost that thought a while ago.
Okay.
We got too far away from it, so it's just
Fair enough.
Well, just in case anyone is wondering, the Blu-ray and DVDs will hit shelves August 2nd.
Oh, so that's not much of a turnaround then. That's pretty good.
So if you can't make it for June,
July.
6 weeks. Yes, sorry, July.
It goes on sale in June. It's in July.
Yeah, you don't have to wait that long.
Good, because I'm already waiting too long for it.
Yeah, and that's definitely a thing that Fathom does too. Is they always put extra things.
Well, what's interesting is now going to the next piece is that it's a kind of a contrast when you talk about the ratings and the content, because Suicide Squad is officially PG-13, which, all fine, well, and good, but like that definitely feels like a movie by the look of it. You would have thought it would be more likely to be R than Batman vs Superman. I mean, they're both dark, actiony movies, but one seems like okay.
It would be easier to. It definitely would be easier to make that one an R movie.
You would think so. You know what I mean? Or it feels like it already to a degree.
Oh wow, Deadpool just became one of the greatest movies of all time. It almost broke $1 billion. We're still working on that one, right? Right. Let's throw a little more blood and gore in there.
Let's figure out. Can we put an F-bomb? Is that all it's going to take? Is one F-bomb? And then we'll just put that in there.
Yeah. Let's see him decapitate a couple of people and real blood comes out. Then we can get an R rating and we're good.
So it just seems like a thing people were just, had to be chatting about. And, I don't know if it's not that big a deal, but that's the situation. So
that's the situation, according to Bill.
That's it, officially. And then one of the other things that happened this week was a picture came around. Did you see this, Bob, of J.K. Simmons working out? The guy.
No.
So you know who that is right off the top?
Yeah.
Okay, some people with the name that are like, who?
He's a great character actor, happens to be playing J. Jonah Jameson.
Played James Jamba Juba.
He's been, he's got a recurring role on Law and Order SVU for a long time.
It was Schillinger on Oz, nice Nazi rapist.
Yeah. Excellent actor.
Also now he's going to be Commissioner Gordon in the Justice League stuff.
Well, hey.
Why not?
Why not?
He's got chops.
Absolutely.
So, I don't know if you want to grab your phone and look this up, Bob, but there was a picture of him that surfaced this week of him in the gym. Some dude just kind of took some pictures of him. And he is looking like the most ripped homeless dude you've ever seen in your life. Like, granted, he's got the weights in his hands, so that he's completely he's working out, so he's in full shred flex mode, you know what I mean? But just nobody was expecting that, you know what I mean? So people are like, oh my God, is he getting shredded and ripped for Commissioner Gordon? Like, he's going to be the most jacked Gordon ever? And it's like, God, I hope not. Did Snyder say, dude, you're going to be cracking skulls. Totally different kind of Gordon. It's my Gordon. It's a dark Gotham Gordon. Yep. There's like 2 picks, but that's one of them, yeah. And, he's looking like fucking
he's
Santa
ripped.
Claus on a fucking, revenge mission. They killed my reindeer. I'm taking them all out.
Rudolph had to be the 9th freaking reindeer.
The only thing that left was his nose.
Gonna have to take him out.
So with that, a lot of speculation on what the hell this is about. He's got something else. Yeah, that's the one there too. His arms are all spread out akimbo, and it's like in a butterfly machine or something.
Right. Yeah, I think what they call the machine, the butterfly.
So Just kind of weird looking, you know. Just a strange juxtaposition. Was anybody else creeped out? I mean, I don't know.
I wasn't creeped out. I just thought it was like, good for him.
Well, that's the other thing too. I'm like, this guy, like, you know, yeah, good for you, working out at your age and looking like as ripped as you do, but just dial it down. Like, don't have a heart attack on the machine, please.
Well, maybe he thought he was going to be the Vulture in Marvel or something. He thought he had to work out for it.
Those wings look heavy. So he's going
to look buff to be a
I'm going to have to
superhero.
flap them under my own strength, right? I mean, I got to propel myself off the ground. This butterfly machine's fucking ripping me up. So that was a creepy thing that came across the web. But
it has to be for something else.
It seems like it. I mean, maybe that's the thing. I feel like we
He's
all
got
kind
things
of
with the beard going on. Yeah,
the beard I feel like is definitely for something. I feel like you don't grow that beard, no matter how incognito you may want to be as a celebrity. Like,
well, who could he be in the Marvel or DC universe
well,
or
he
somewhere?
signed up for Gordon, and I think some of the articles mentioned whatever the next project he has coming up or whatever. So it's possible he's shredding for that too. Or maybe it's just he's
maybe
become...
he is going to be a badass Santa Claus in some kind of movie.
Maybe that would be great. That would be great. That would be great.
Remember there were some things they did in the 80s.
Some of these holiday movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I could see it. I would love it, even if it's for a bit. Like, you know, even if like it's some comedy,
full Santa suit with a cigar and an M60.
You know, even if it's for fucking, you know, some remake of Trading Places or something, and you know, he's one of the fucking
rips off the robe. He's all
yeah. You know, it's like, you want to fight with me? Fucking, I'm just out here ringing the bell, buddy.
Nobody fucks with Santa.
So
preparing to be in Vikings.
Yeah, it's probably going to be Vikings.
Getting a head start on the beard.
There you go. So, but whatever. Hey, man, it could just be because, you know, he's on a health kick. But either way, like, power to you. Just be careful. That's all. Just be careful. It's like looking at my grandfather on the machine, you know.
Really, we can't accept anybody else as J. Jonah Jameson now.
Well,
so
you're gonna have to.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to. You're gonna have to. They recast that.
Oh well.
I think that's even cast. Why? It's a whole. Well, I mean, I get you. He's perfect. He's literally beyond perfect for it.
Yeah, anyone now is going to pale in comparison.
Well, they've got to just completely, you know, knock it out of the park in their own way, which seems, I understand, impossible. But like, yeah, it does feel like that.
But
it's
as time is.
It's like we never thought anybody would be better than Jack Nicholson, and some people will argue whether or not Heath Ledger was. I mean, he was a very different Joker, but like no one thought it would be a contest. Or a difficult question, you know what I mean? So it's possible. Right. Yeah. Is actually that been cast? Hey, Palmer, do me a favor as we're going. Just look up J. Jonah Jameson and see if that was someone that they might have cast already, because I kind of feel like they did, or there might have been a casting rumor around it.
That's just the thing with movies and things. As time goes by, actors are going to have to be replaced. They can only do it for so long, whether it's contractually or just age-wise. They're going to age out of a role, and you're going to have to recast.
Or the other thing is the reboot effect, where it's like, well, we can't go with you because we're doing a whole new thing now, and you would be a carryover. Yeah. And so heaven forbid anybody does.
They're going to go younger, or they're going to go older.
I'm sorry,
or
Toby. The new kid's a skateboarder. You don't skateboard, so...
I mean, one of the greatest things ever would have been if, like, they had the same guy play Alfred in all the Batman movies. Like, they had just kept on recasting, like, the first guy. I'm not saying he was the best one, but I'm just saying, like,
Bill, there's absolutely nothing at the moment.
Fair enough.
The new or future J. Jonah Jameson.
Well, thank you, sir, for looking that up. Diligent work, my friend. Diligent work.
Dominic Cooper.
There you go. Dominic Cooper.
He's just going to be in everything.
He's just going to be in everything. I guess we're moving the meanwhile, too. I just realized. We skipped right over it. We'll do it right after the news. Careful, Bob. Careful. So the last thing we got there in the news is that Russian audiences have not really been too happy with Spider-Man and Captain America Civil War, oddly enough, talking about Spider-Man.
Really?
So it turns out the kid who they had to dub his voice in, it's kind of like a really, really kid voice. And so it's like really, and then kind of like, gosh, gollied him up a little too much. So like they kind of went on the deep end on the translation, and then also having the kid pitch his voice up. But the kid's just like, hey, like, yeah, it's a bit of a voice I put on, but that's what we worked out. That's not on me.
Yeah.
The director was like, let's do that. That's what they wanted. He was like, let's do that. And so don't give me too much crap. Like, it was not my idea. It was my assignment. Right. Like, you know what I mean?
I got paid to do what I was told.
Yeah.
He's the guy who told me to do it.
Yeah.
Blame him.
Yeah. And it's like, it was a dub job, first of all. It's like, don't.
And he didn't want to get shot afterwards.
Yeah, well, that's it. In Russia, right? In Russia, you get shot for doing bad Spider-Man job.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, it must not be that important because they've got a petition going on change.org, and their goal was 1,500 signatures, and they've only got 1,208.
And I bet you 500 of them come out of that article that I saw. It's traffic brought by that article or something. I wouldn't be surprised.
In Russia, you don't shoot movie shoot you.
That is,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, this is good.
True.
Movie drink vodka.
So that's going to wrap us up for the news. I think that's about all we got. That's about all we need. What we're going to do is we're going to jump to Meanwhile.
Wait.
What? You got something else there, chum?
I don't remember hearing this sweet, sweet theme song for the news section.
I
think we just jumped right into it.
No. Bob
Yeah, I
played it. Bob played it.
Played it. I heard it.
Yeah.
Where were you?
I don't know.
Jeez.
Well, if you don't know, we don't know. Bob. Just because we know he was doing that doesn't mean the audience would have known.
That's his default.
I was just,
It's just Bob's favorite sound. You were just doing a chipmunk impression or something?
something like that.
Okay. Some kind of woodland creature.
Yes. Beaver related.
Jack Waffalo? All right. Let's go into the Meanwhile stuff.
Meanwhile,
So basically, Meanwhile is a section where we kind of just go over stuff that we saw or watched, read, enjoyed, consumed in the pop culture kind of landscape. And then, we kind of bullshit about it real quick if anything's kind of happened. So just to get myself out of the way, because it's old hat in a sense, is I watched some House of Cards finally. Oddly enough, Dom's not here this week, but at work he was talking about it because he finally started watching it, and he was like, "Oh, it's so good! Oh, it's so good!" And I gotta admit, oh, it's so good. It really is. It's Kevin Spacey being everything you want kind of Kevin Spacey to be. Fucking basically like evil, slimy as fuck. It's a little bit meta because he turns and talks to the camera a little bit once in a while, but it's always right before he lays the hammer down on somebody. And it's like, as much as it's also steeped in like politics, it's relatively easy to follow. Like, I feel like if you have a kind of a basic grasp on like what goes on and how these guys actually get things done, like then you can follow pretty easily, but it's not hard to figure out anyway. That stuff, it's one of those shows where you guys definitely have to pay attention. So it's worth it. Like you feel like your time is well spent and it's earned and shit. And just really good so far. I'm only 4 episodes in, but I'm definitely hooked. I'm definitely trying to find spots in my this weekend to catch up on the rest of that. So it's a late recommendation for a lot of people, but it is coming around again. This is obviously one of these things where it's like, Breaking Bad? You're telling me to watch Breaking Bad? What are you, stupid? Or Mad Men? Yeah, I get it. House of Cards is like, it's 3 years old. You know what I mean? They're in season 4 or something like that. So, Steph, I see in the notes on the Meanwhile, a small note for Comic-Con. You went to Comic-Con, worked Comic-Con, ran Comic-Con, bought Comic-Con, sold Comic-Con, something with the Comic-Con? A Comic-Con, a chameleon?
Something like that.
Chameleon? Phoenix.
That's what you should be next time.
Come on, Bill.
You should be the Comic-Con chameleon. I don't know what the costume would be.
Comic chameleon?
What would be the costume for the Comic-Con chameleon? Say that 3 times fast. I'm sorry, Steph. Do you have any?
I know. I kind of already just blend in anyway, but
well, that's the thing, I guess. Right? If you're staff, you're not supposed to be noticed, kind of. Well, depending on which staff.
Yeah.
Well, depending if you're the help staff, yeah, like the information booth. But like keeping your eyes on stuff, staff. Is that what you do? You're like
no. I work at Phoenix Comic-Con, but I am a photo booth coordinator. So I usually run one of the celebrity photo booths during the day, or during my shift, more like it, and then help out other times. So we basically get all of the attendees through the photo booth as quickly as possible, while still having the opportunity to meet their favorite celebrity and get their photo taken, and then get everything printed out and basically hand the photo to them immediately after they exit the photo booth. So that's what I do.
And how many years have you been doing this now? Because you've been working
5 years. This is
okay.
my 5th Comic-Con. Yeah.
I was going to say, I knew that you've been doing it for a while. I didn't realize it was that long.
Yeah, I'm a pro at it now.
I'm pro. I can run the whole thing without anybody helping me. I can run the
No,
whole
that's not the case. No,
StefCon.
I definitely need my team of volunteers.
Come down to the Phoenix, Arizona StefCon. So that's got to be pretty cool, though, right? I mean,
Oh yeah, it is. I mean, it's a lot of work. I'm usually working the whole day, so I don't really get to, unfortunately, see a lot of stuff. But
Right.
it's great opportunity. You know, I get to meet all these cool celebrities and see how they interact with their fans. So I personally love it, and it's definitely worth not being able to see a lot of the other con.
okay, all right. That's the thing. That's the one thing about going to Comic Cons. Like, if it's a good con, it's the one thing. It's like you just walk out of there feeling like, I don't feel like I did enough,
Yeah.
or and it's like you can do amazing shit.
Right. Well, these things are
You know,
gigantic.
you can
and-
spend 3 days with those things, do tons of great shit, and still walk out feeling like I missed
Yeah.
something. Like, you know,
Oh, yeah.
just because it's just
Definitely.
you know.
So, Steph, you
always
couldn't
so
find
much
the
to
time.
do.
You couldn't find like an hour to like go take a walk. Like, boss, like
I did on Thursday. So Thursday night the photo booth doesn't run, so that's usually our day to kind of explore and check things out. So that's when we usually go down to the vendor hall. And I went and visited a few of my comic artist friends that I know, said hi to them, visited some podcasters I know, checked out where certain tables were that I would try to go back to, and I actually didn't end up going back because I didn't have time. But there's always cool things to look at and explore during that day since we actually have free time.
so you were able to sneak off for a little while.
Yeah, I was able to sneak off for that. Friday evening, I went to one panel, which was for some podcaster friends that I listened to their Supernatural podcast. So they were doing a live show. I went to that and got to heckle them during the show, which was a lot of fun. They asked for it. They said, we want our fans to come and heckle us and you know, maybe come with some signs and stuff. And we brought like a shit ton of signs.
Oh,
Like,
my
there were
God.
big poster boards of signs that we held up and basically broke them while they were on air, which was
That's
great.
cool. That's great. I mean, don't ever do it to me. I'll fucking kill you. But that's great that you did. Because I would never ask for that. Because I know on some level somebody's going to do it anyway, probably. That's my thing. I'm just
Yeah.
assuming that some goofy friend of
easier for
mine,
them.
you know, well, that's it. That's it. Maybe if you ask for it, then it's like, you know, to anticipate.
Yeah,
I guess.
and they're local.
Yeah.
They're here. They're here in Arizona, so I can easily, you know, make it to an actual live podcast of theirs and then heckle them. You're in New York.
Right. Well, that's the thing. Like, you know, you can't come. I mean, if you did, that would be obsessive. You know, that would be more of my concern. Steph, you didn't come all this way just to hold up a sign, did you? I mean, what the fuck, psycho? All right. So what was anything really crazy you saw, costumes or cosplay wise or booth? Like, what was a big standout for you from like over the weekend? Anything like that? Crazy, wild stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really see a lot of. I mean, there were in passing. I saw some really great cosplays that I really didn't get a chance to take pictures of. But you always see those when you're at a Comic Con. There's people that just go all out, and it's really impressive. And I would have to say, as far as stories go, I mean, we had some great guests. I mean, they were really just down to earth and just really great with their fans and chatty and just really genuine and really cool.
I want to hear about the opposite of that. I want to hear about the douchebags and.
Well, that's the thing. Is like we didn't have any. We're really lucky. We get some really good quality guests.
What about
And,
in like what about in relationship to like, all right, yeah, like they were all amazing, but that meant that the one guy that all he did was like belch near me became the douchebag. Like, you know, it was like this tiny thing, but because it was the only thing, like that guy, like he bumped me. Like, you know, I don't know. So
Flatulence got you bumped.
So who was the biggest person you got to bump elbows with then this week, that weekend?
Let's see. We had Sean Astin. He wasn't in my booth, so I didn't get to really interact with
Then
him.
I'm not asking
that much.
about him then. I'm asking about who you touched, who you molested, absconded, or offended, or helped.
No,
Who you
there's
pickpocketed and took their ID for proof.
Yeah. Basically.
None of that, no. The only thing I can think of, though, is a great story with Eve Miles, who's from Torchwood and some other BBC shows.
Okay.
She is fantastic and really gorgeous in real life. Like, she's so pretty, and BBC doesn't necessarily do her justice all the time in their shows. So she is also hilarious, and she's done a lot of things with John Barrowman because they were in Torchwood together. And so she basically made it her mission at this Comic-Con to be better than him at any Comic-Con, to be more beloved than him.
Wow,
so
that's a bold move.
Wow.
Because he is alpha when it comes to that shit.
I'm going to
Oh, yeah. So she was saying that she was, just as good as John Barrowman, or better, because she had way better tits. She would also say things like, during her photos, she would make faces and go, those were her sex faces. And she would say, she has 4 sex faces where he only has 3, so she's better. Then basically the highlight of the whole photo op where I fell in love with her was there was this family that came through, and the mom had a motorized scooter. And she parked it over to the side, got up and got in for the photo, and Eve makes the comment going, oh, that thing was great. I should get me one of those. They kind of chuckle, take the photo. After the photo, she walks over there, sits on this mom's scooter, and starts driving it around the photo booth. Heads towards the exit, and we have a moment of panic, like, oh God, don't go drive that around. And then she backs up, runs the other way, nearly crashes into the photo backdrop. She turns around, goes wee or across the thing. Our photographer is taking photos while this is happening.
Great.
She then backs up. There's evidence. And she backs up and positions herself right in front of the camera. There's this little glamour pose on the scooter, and then finally gives it back to the family.
That's great.
We are all laughing and cracking up, and I run out and tell our behind our back of house people to print out extra copies. So the family not only got their photo with Eve, they got a set of these photos of Eve running around the scooter.
And they got her fingerprints all over the scooter.
Day.
I'm sure it did. I'm sure they put it together like a collage, and it's probably hanging up right now in the house.
Probably,
great.
but that was great. I don't think we've ever had anything that crazy awesome happen.
Panic mode a little bit though, right? I mean, it's like,
a little
God,
bit. We're like, oh God,
please,
don't
celebrity.
run into anything. Don't hurt yourself.
Oh my God, please, celebrity, do not crash some random guest like some attendees
Scooter,
vehicle into some other
They'll be on
booth.
Entertainment Tonight.
It's like way too many people suing. Oh Jesus. Okay, I'm glad it all went well though. That's cool. That's funny. So sticking into the meanwhile stuff, Palmer, I see you have a note in here for some preacher thing.
Yeah, some preacher thing.
When did we become?
What is that?
When did we become a church show?
You know what I mean?
It's
You want to do some preaching?
It's just this comic.
You want to get up on top of the soapbox?
You know what? I'm not doing the bit. I did that. That was in last week's email. I'm not, or 2 weeks ago.
You're
I'm not
play
doing that.
that bit of. I don't know if you guys heard of this or not, but
yeah, I'm not going to do that one.
Okay.
It's just I'm starting to get into book 6 now, and I'm trying to temper my excitement for wanting to finish the book with my utter disdain for actually finishing the book.
Right.
Like
right.
There's that balance. Like I don't want to finish it, but I want to know what happens.
You want
to read it as quickly as possible, and then you go, it ends, and you're like, fuck.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm pacing this one out, but I still think it'll be done by the time this episode airs.
Yeah. It's just a shame that this roller coaster, unlike the one in the news, I don't know if you heard, actually the power went off.
No.
So this roller coaster will come to an end where that one actually got stuck.
Okay, that's a random segue.
And it sounded bad, so edit it, please.
No, it's staying right. It's staying right in there.
I'm sure that's why. Especially, right I knew once I asked, it was staying.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Not so much because you asked. Not so much because you asked. Because it was only a small thing, and I'll probably glaze over it. That's what happens to some of the small things I go planning to take out, like tiny things. It's like when I'm listening to it, sometimes I'll get distracted, and it'll be like then it goes up, and I'm like, oh, I meant to take out that thing. I guess I didn't remember or something. Like I didn't have a note, So what are you trying to get at here, Palmer? That you're almost done with the series.
I'm almost done with this. I'm almost done with the comics, and it's all your fault, thanks to 50 plus episodes of Wicked Theory mentioning it, and your new other podcast, Preacher vs. Preacher.
Fair enough. Steph, you were going to jump in there, I think.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, it's Preacher versus Preacher or Preacher vs. Preacher. Has to be one of those two.
Right. No, you're right. And I have to get more into the habit of saying verses, not verse. That's the thing for me.
But I was just gonna say that unfortunately, because of Comic-Con, I am now behind Palmer. I still have to finish book 5 and start 6. So I'm like, how did this happen? But then I remembered I was busy and need to catch up.
I thought I was actually.
I'll probably be in the same boat though.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you.
I'll be finished pretty quickly.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I was actually surprised he got ahead of me. I figured this week I would have actually surpassed him. I'm got one more chapter left in book 5.
Okay. All right.
One more issue within book 5.
Right. And then 6.
And then
6 being the last book. Well, cool for all. I mean, my reread is not going as expeditious as I would like it to. I am still in book 2, and one of the things I did do, though, is I jumped to book 3 and was reading the beginning of that because that's Santa Killer stuff. And, having that whole mysterious cowboy pop up on the show, it's like, oh, what is that about? But anyway, so yeah, as far as that goes, that's where I'm at. So, but that was really it for you, Palmer. With that, you just kind of wanted to mention how it was the bittersweet thing of being near the end of a really good book, kind of a thing. You know, where it's like, oh, I'm getting near the end. I mean, I've had that with novels and books too, man. Where it's just like you're getting near the end, and that end of the book is getting thinner. You know, and it's like there's less and less pages, and it's still good. Like, it hasn't shit on itself yet. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, I'm almost at the end. And it's like, maybe I'll reread it. And then it's like, no, I'm not. I'm not going to reread it.
Well, this one's even worse because, like, I'm aware of it. Like, I mean, there's every once in a while you'll get a book and you'll, like, read it, and then you'll have that moment after you finish, and you're like, oh, shit, it's over. But, like, now, because it's split up into books, and it's like, fuck. Like, one book left. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm more aware of it because of the way it's broken up.
Right. The physicality in your hands. Yeah, sure. It's more of a countdown, it feels like. Yeah.
So when I finish book 6 of Preacher, what other series are you going to convince me to buy next?
No, nothing. It's going to be a while. We hit the high mark here with this one. And I'm not even joking. Like,
Frank Miller.
Well, it's funny. I do the podcast for the guys at my local comic shop, WCBJ Radio, and one of the things that we were talking about on there was just that, like, people will come in and, like, yeah, you can give them Preacher, but because it's not running anymore, like, then what do you give them? Like, you know what I mean? If they're into that, so sure, you can give them other Garth Ennis written stuff, but either it goes 10 times crazier. Yeah. Or it just goes left into World War II stories. Right. Like, you know what I mean? Because that's like his wheelhouse. And, like, because he's famous, like, other publishers, like lesser publishers, will publish anything. So if he wants to write something about, dog fighters, World War II dogfights and shit like that, then, somebody will put it out.
Yeah, somebody's going to print it.
You know what I mean? But, so...
I'd be into that.
So if you're if you're digging Garth Ennis's, like, just being crazy nuts, what you might actually like is that, they're going to adapt The Boys for Cinimax. And The Boys is another comic series of his that is just, it's over the top, but it's more superhero based. And some really just hardcore douchebaggery type superheroes who are supposed to be like the good guys, like an Avengers kind of analogy.
Kind of a little bit of a Jessica Jones kind of a feel with a group of guys and more superheroes.
Yeah, but I think one of the things that kind of feels like in The Boys is that,
and a little bit of Damage Incorporated.
Well, because you're following really these two guys who work for an agency that's supposed to keep superheroes in check,
right?
Kind of like, you know what I mean? And so while they have their own issues, those two guys, the heroes that they're keeping an eye on are just like really the worst. They shouldn't really be heroes.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, it's like, if women want to get on the team, they have to fuck to get in, and it's
which superhero who loves kids is actually really loves kids.
Yeah, it's this kinds of stuff, and at times it can feel more crazy for crazy's sake sometimes than Preacher does, even though Preacher can fall into that at moments where it's like, well, this isn't really completely necessary that we do this right now, but it is fucking wild.
Yeah, but Preacher has the benefit of having a premise that is crazy to begin with, so when it goes off the deep end, you're not entirely sure sometimes.
Right. Yeah, it's like, all right, And
hey, Bill.
So The Boys has that level also, too, of the black comedy over-the-topness there, too. More, I think, consistent, trying to be funny. What's up, Palmer?
I was going to say, you happen to have a World War II buff on the podcast? So what titles would those be?
Steph, I didn't know you were into WW2. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, when you said something about dogfights, she was like, I'd be into that.
Dogfighting.
She was all over it.
I did not mean dogfighting, but yeah, no, I love World War II history. I mean, my grandfather was in World War II, so I grew up listening to his stories, and it's just, plus I just love history, and that is one of the two portions of modern history that I love, and then I'm more into the ancient history, but World War II, I'm really interested in just both sides of the spectrum.
You ever catch the show Dogfights on History?
On the History Channel?
I think so.
Well,
possibly. I've watched a lot of documentaries.
Yeah, they usually it was a whole series where they just talked to one or two guys and they would tell a story about a particular dogfight that happened that was important and why, and they would replay it with CG, so you could like see the whole reenactment kind of thing. And it was pretty cool. I thought maybe if you were diving into it, maybe you saw that.
Well, I have to be honest here. When Palmer said that, I thought he meant himself. So I was trying to be funny.
Because you just assume he's always talking about himself.
Yeah.
No, I was setting it up.
No. I mean, I understand that now. It was a legit setup, but I thought it might have. But you legit set up stuff like that for yourself too,
for himself.
to be funny, or it's just a segue anyway. So it's felt natural either way, and I presumed you meant you, and it was something I didn't know about you. So I thought to be funny, I throw it to Steph. Turned out it was something that I probably my sexist fucking nature. The girl can't like World War II stuff, probably, or whatever. That's army things. They don't.
You didn't even think
girls don't like army stuff. Fucking, they like skirts. And
so
jumping rope.
So you really weren't paying attention when she said, "Hey, I'd like that."
I guess when she slipped that in there earlier, I didn't catch it. But yeah, to be honest with you, he's got a good number of World War II stuff. One of the things that's actually brings it back a little bit to superhero-ish is that I got he did a run for Marvel of Nick Fury for Marvel's Max line, which is just titled Fury, and it's basically Nick just kind of telling some of his old World War II stories, but with Garth Ennis at the wheel. Like, I'm sure it's going to get fucking nuts, so I bought the first two trade paperbacks rather than just buying the one. I was like, I'm sure I'll want the other one. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm pretty sure I'll want the next one. And then
I know this guy.
I'm aware. This sounds like a good combination, as they say. So with that, like, the first page is really great, and I was just like, okay, I'll definitely pick these up. So it's on my stack where it's like stuff to get to, but. I mean, that's a World War II thing. But he's written quite a bit of, a decent amount, I should say, of World War II stuff. I think I might be confusing him with Warren Ellis a little bit on that, but I don't think so. But, hey, check his, he's got a book, I think, that comes out now from either Avatar or one of these others on the indie side publishers. But you can find it if you need it, baby. I'm not calling you that because I'm not calling you baby because I'm sexist. I'm calling you that because I'm annoying, and I do that to men too. So now that we wrapped that up, I guess what we should do is we should finally hit the emails, and one of the people who sends us email isn't here today. And, no, Ed, Eduardo, Edwin, Edgar. Is there any other variations on Ed that I can think of? Anybody?
Edwin?
Did I say Edwin? Maybe. Edgar.
You said Edwin.
I did say Edwin. Edgar. No, that's about it. Eddie. Edie.
There's another one on the tip of my tongue I can't get.
Yeah.
Edmund, there you go. Edmund, Lord Edmund of Ohio. Anyway, so we'll burn through his real quick. I knocked one into the trash by accident. Sorry, Ed. I literally did. I just hit one into the trash. I was hitting the wrong button. I was trying to delete this other one. Didn't realize I selected his. I guess it's gone forever, or it's in the trash bin, and I'm not going for it. Yeah, pick one. Okay. So, gentlemen, he says,
yes.
Thank you, Palmer, for following the bit. Gentlemen. To which, actually, do we call this, sir? Which superhero do you trust David Mamet to write? So, those who may not be familiar, David Mamet's a playwright and a screenwriter, most known for Glengarry Glen Ross and a few other things of that nature and that style. So I would say, like, maybe Matt Murdock. Or
I'm thinking Plastic Man.
But Bob's like, let's go completely opposite and see what this guy does with something kooky. But yeah, he's a little bit on the drier side. It's kind of like asking, Jesus Christ, West Wing writer Aaron
Sorkin.
Like it's almost like asking, what would Sorkin be good at writing? But that's not the question. So does anybody have anything for this? Maybe David Mamet, either of you two guests.
I got nothing. That's out of my wheelhouse.
Nah, you go home. Wait, you are home. Sorry.
I wonder if he could do Animal Man.
I don't know, man. I mean, Mamet can get kind of deep, but I don't know if he's going to get all, like, Animal Man gets meta, and I don't know how you adapt that to begin with.
Ragman.
There you go. Bob, one of Bob's go-tos. Ragman. All right, let's go on to Ed's next one, which is titled Getting the Let Out. With Maria Molina. Is a Led Zeppelin reunion coming anytime soon?
And why does it sound like Bon Scott?
Yeah, I know. I was trying not to do the Bon Scott. You should have just heard me like inside my head, like, that's going to sound like Bon Scott, don't it? There you go, Bob. That was nice. That was good. That was a much better fit for the distortion. I couldn't even get it out. All right.
With the lighter distortion.
Is a Led Zeppelin reunion coming anytime soon? I don't know. Who's alive from that band? I'm not keeping track.
Basically,
Page and Plant, right?
Yeah.
That's two.
Yeah, I think Jones might be dead.
Of these guys, he might be. Is anybody getting along on that team?
John Paul Jones might be dead.
Is anybody getting along out of Page and Plant?
Yeah, they get along well enough to not let anybody use any of the rights to anything that they ever did.
Unless you're a car company.
Unless you're Cadillac.
Right. Got to be the best of the best. Pinky's out. I think the things are all going to depend on the mortgage. If they have a mortgage to pay, if the money's running out, all of a sudden it's time to go on tour.
Robert Plant's doing some phenomenal
stretches,
blues stuff with some female singer or something.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's about it. We're not really sure about that one. You can hope for the best, though. Gentlemen,
sir,
is there any type of jelly that doesn't taste great with peanut butter? I say petroleum.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Probably not that one.
Probably that jelly that sometimes, like when you open up a can of Spam, the coagulant.
That clear stuff.
The hair gel, that stuff.
Yeah, that's probably not going to do it too good.
It might look okay, the color and everything, but
yeah, I don't know. I'm not really a peanut butter and jelly guy, generally speaking. Very low on the peanut butter scale myself, like very rarely. I don't think that I've ever had much other jellies, really, to be honest with you, anyway, than grape jelly.
Yeah.
Like
you're missing out, sir.
I'm sure I am.
Jellyfish jelly?
As far as like jams and all that, spreads, like not really my big thing. Like I like fruit. Like I really like fruit, but I'm not big on jams and jellies.
Cut
and
up
candies.
a couple of grapes and put them on a peanut butter
make your own. Just throw it in a blender. What are you gonna wait for? All right,
why even go that far? Just dice it up and put it on.
There you go. All right, so that's really it. He really didn't send a lot this week. I guess the one that I threw into I bet you the one I threw into the garbage bin probably was going to be amazing, but too late. Sorry. But we do have a couple more. One of them is from our own Agent Palmer. I don't know if you guys have heard of this clown, but he's in the room. So, yeah. Palmer, what do you want me to do? You want me to read this myself? Or are you going to read it? Actually, you know what? Fuck you. I'm going to read it. How's that for answering the question?
Okay.
To the Wicked Theory podcast. Today, about half a cup of coffee into the morning, my cable disappeared. No TV, no internet, no connections anywhere to be found. So I read about half of The Preacher, Book 6, and returned to my great relief. And it returned to my great relief, all his electronics and stuff. But if you were disconnected for a full week, what would you do? And I'm not talking cabin in the woods unconnected, just a normal week with no internet and no cable. I'm not sure.
I did that, but I had to do 3 days. It's with Sandy.
Yeah. With nothing, right?
Yeah. So
no electric at all, right?
Yeah, no electric at all. So what we did was we drove around in the car most of the time and charged up everything.
Right. Oh, yeah, there you go. Right. Yeah. Plug everything into the. Fair enough. Yeah, all your devices.
And then we go home and sit in the dark, and at least we'd be able to play some games offline.
Yeah.
On our phones and tablets and stuff, and we wouldn't strangle each other because I was with the ex who had the kids.
Yeah. That can get pretty dicey, I bet, when the power's out with the young kids.
So.
But that's a good call, actually. I don't know. I would probably just be in the dark during the night and then outside during the day because I got no windows down here, really, and there's not a lot of light, so I don't imagine I'd be doing a lot of reading because I don't have any candles. And I'm sure by the time I went to go get candles, they'd be gone.
Hey, Bill?
Yeah.
There's this invention called a flashlight.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong. That's not true.
Yeah, but
A lantern.
Nope.
Lighter?
Nope. Lighter, I'm saving. I have other uses for that.
Okay.
All right. No, but no, yeah.
Ballads.
Obviously, yeah. There's I have actually a camping lantern and shit. That would be my go-to. We'd probably light up this whole apartment, like through the wall.
Yeah, I know.
Like even through the wall. I mean, the whole apartment. It's basically.
It's one of those floodlight lamps.
Yeah, it's a small sun. It's a small sun.
It's like, when it goes out, it's like.
Yeah, it's like wong. It makes a noise.
Whoa.
You can feel it leaving tumors in your body. Yeah, basically, it vibrates off the table.
The electric hum.
I got a pull start on it. All right.
Flies start flying into it.
Oh, that's the best. Didn't even know there were any moths in the house until you turned it on. So, with one question down, let's move on to the ridiculous and, well, nonsensical. Do vegetarians eat animal crackers?
I've heard this one before.
And I'm going to say I don't know, but probably not. Because they're picky.
Yeah, they're probably not. They're probably not organic,
and they probably don't even like the idea of animal crackers because that supports the whole zoo and circus mentality. Okay, and then if we're going to do the right thing with the animals, chances are.
Plus, if the animal crackers were baked with milk and margarine and stuff, then they wouldn't want that either.
Animal shortenings.
They've got to be free range animal crackers. They can't come in the circus box. And then, has anybody seen Portlandia season 1? When the couple they go to order like it's some vegan or not vegan or vegetarian or whatever it is kind of fucking restaurant, and they're all like, you know, it's not just a free range chicken. It's like free range, and it was raised in a soundproof like a leisure-like environment.
I saw the commercial.
You know what I mean? And it's like, oh my gosh, that's great. Can we go see it? Can we go see? Like, and then when we come back, maybe we'll make a decision. It's like, yeah, go ahead. Like they go to the range and shit. Like it's just so pretentious and funny. No, I think we should just tell Agent Palmer to that.
Tell me what.
To tell him that this is the kind of question he should ask the vegetarians he knows. You know, when I run into him, I'll let him know.
Bill,
yeah,
you've seen the way he lives.
That's true.
He doesn't know anybody.
I don't even think he really has a job. I think it's all like just like, you know, he makes that shit up.
Yeah, it's a work from home.
That's maybe what it is, right? You know. So lastly, with a hint of Preacher in this one, if vampires can't see their reflections, why is their hair always so neat? I mean, Cassidy looks pretty put together, right? I mean, I don't know about pretty put together, but it's still a good point overall. But he's still got a good point overall. I mean, you can brush your hair without a mirror, but...
Yeah, especially when it sticks straight up like Cassie's. All you do is put some gel in your hands and go, stick them in your hair and pull it straight up.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Besides...
pretty low maintenance.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, also besides Cassidy, I mean, you know, those guys in Interview with a Vampire had some very, you know, bouffant, you know, coiffs.
Yeah, they were very pretty.
You know, and they were doing a lot of primping. You know, and
they were very metrosexual.
Granted, there was 2 of them plus a little girl, so I'm sure she.
You think they were doing each other's hair?
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. I'm sure they had many a night where like young Kirsten Dunst just did their hair.
Could you do my hair, please?
You know, well, that's Bill. You know,
I have to look my best when I'm.
See, you've seen this movie. I know you've seen this movie. That's spot on.
Yeah. Well, I've seen enough of it to know that the girl.
Yeah.
Should never have been a vampire, right? That's according to their rules or something.
Well, that they probably should have done it to a kid. Like, yeah. because they stay a kid forever.
Yeah.
Which is fucked up. Which is a great thing. Like, it's like, oh, I never thought about that. Like, you know what I mean? You know, fucked up.
Yeah.
You know, because
Never
then it's
never
like,
get to
yeah,
grow
I know
up.
you're 107, but I can't hook up with you because you look like you're 7. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, you're an old lady on the inside. Don't come near me. Stop trying to touch me. All right, that was great.
An old virgin too.
Oh, Jesus, poor gal. All right, so that's it. I mean, that's all he's got. So he says Palmer out.
I did.
You did. That was the best part.
Why are you still here?
All right, so our next one comes from Hughes Bryan.
We should be going to.
Brian.
Scotland.
Sorry.
So you got to go for more of a
Scotland.
Scrooge McDuck than anything else. That's just duck.
Yeah,
That's just duck.
that's not all I could do.
That's not even Donald. That was just confused Donald.
That's
like wow, 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 wow.
Scrooge, not Donald.
Yeah, Scrooge McDuck.
How do you do a Scottish accent when it's like?
Well, you don't. That's why they didn't do
You
it.
don't.
That's why they probably didn't combine it because he probably tried and had an aneurysm. The guy who does the voice, you know what I mean, trying to combine that sound with the Scrooge, you know, fucking kind of thing, and then
Probably rip out a vocal.
yeah, absolutely blew out a gasket in his neck, some
Vocal
kind.
cord would just explode out the side of his neck.
Yeah. All right. So Brian wants to. He says, "Greetings, gentlemen." And I will say, and gentle lady, he didn't know that you were going to be here, Steph. Hope you're all well. Just a few quick questions before I return to watching the footy and downing some beer.
A few? Come on now.
But it's only 3.
Okay.
Most people say few when you get
You know what?
25.
They're long distance, so
Yeah, that's fine. And literally, like, I saw him putting out
it's
some
good,
tweets.
it's
He's
good.
like, I'm going to get these questions in, trust me. He's watching footy with his son.
I don't want to know what he does with his son.
Well, it involves footy.
Oh, I'm sorry, footy, not footsie. Okay.
But right. There you go. So,
We're
as far as,
watching the real football.
yeah, true indeed.
Right.
The football. So he wants to know Pepsi or Coke. What's your preferred brand, Bob?
Well,
I mean,
we all know people who get addicted to Coke.
yeah, I can't
So,
snort Pepsi,
yeah.
so I guess that's the issue. straight to some cocaine references.
No.
But you're definitely a Coke brand guy.
I prefer Coke, but I'll drink either one.
Yeah, sound the same way. It seems that I default by no real choice to Coke. I mean, but yeah. How about you guys? Pepsi, Coke? Anybody have an aversion?
I don't like Pepsi. Pepsi's gross. I'm a Coke girl.
It's actually gross, but do you find it like too sweet? Like I find from some people, they say like one or the other is too sweet for them, and that's the problem.
I don't know what it is about Pepsi. It's just weird.
Just the flavor's not ringing. It's just not doing it.
Yeah.
Palmer, what is your annoying opinion?
I would default to Coke, but I will on occasion drink Pepsi.
That's fucked up. All right.
You know, the only difference is a little more seltzer.
Probably the carbonation is probably what's different, yeah. Well, I mean, the flavor is different for
Like,
sure,
if you
but
take
is it
Pepsi,
vastly?
If you take Pepsi and you add like 10% more seltzer to it,
Yeah.
it tastes like Coke.
Maybe. All right, so how about this? Indian or Chinese curry? I don't know if he means just... I've never really
Spice.
had
Yeah,
Indian food.
Yeah, I'm neither. I gotta beg off on that question.
Yeah, I've never really even tried Indian food, so not that I wouldn't. It just hasn't happened. How about you guys? Indian or Chinese curry? Okay, silence. Like I said, they died.
I think I'd have to go with Indian curry. I don't think I've ever. I mean, I would probably pick Chinese food over Indian curry, but I've never had Chinese curry.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not too familiar with how much of a difference this is, or
I think it's fairly similar. There's a Chinese restaurant near work that they have Chinese curry and Indian curry, and I've unfortunately not had either.
Hey, I think this
But-
is a question best for someone on the Food Network.
there you go. Well, here's a simpler one then. One I think we can all have an answer for: ice cream or cake. You can only have one.
Cake.
Bob's like, why would you fucking do that?
No, 'cause have you ever had vanilla fudge brownie? You take the brownie, you heat it up, and you throw vanilla ice cream on
Oh, yeah,
it
yeah,
with
sure.
chocolate
Yes.
syrup.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Awesome. So don't tell me I can't have both.
Well, you're not. Yeah, that's an ice
A
cream and a brownie.
brownie's not a cake.
Brownie's
yeah,
not a cake.
that's totally legit.
Okay, so
you're safe. You're safe with that.
Okay,
then.
so if I'm safe with that, then that's good.
Then you can still have ice cream. It is
ice cream. It is. Then.
Okay,
Yeah.
as long as I can still have that. That's a good point. That's a good point. I mean, as long as you got that out, you're doing all right. For me, it's going to be like ice cream. If I have only one, I guess the question is just like, what's it going to be? One or the other? It's going to be ice cream.
Yeah, and remember, you can always have ice cream with cake in it.
And remember, there's always like more room for ice cream because it just melts. So we can always have more. How about you guys? Ice cream or cake?
Same for me, ice cream. You can put ice cream on things like pie.
Exactly. Or brownies, like Bob was saying.
Or brownies, yeah.
And
Or
you
a
are
spoon.
living in Arizona where it isn't exactly cold, so.
Yeah, ice cream is probably a big hit out there.
Yeah, we like our ice cream.
Palmer, what about you, bud? Ice cream or cake?
It's cake.
It's cake.
But that's because I'm lactose intolerant. So
Oh, all right. Now it all makes sense. Now I've got it all.
They have pills
figured
for
out.
that.
Exactly.
oh, good lord.
So, like, what are you drinking? Like that soy stuff? Soy milk?
No, I don't.
Lactate, right?
Nah.
You don't even bother. You don't go near any of the artificials. You're just like, can't have it.
That's why
No-
it smelled
no big
that
deal.
bad when we were in this
Yep.
place.
So, no, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Well, now we know how to kill you. So,
Get some pure
I actually,
cream.
if that happened, I don't think it would kill me, but you wouldn't want to be in the room.
remember that old cartoon, right, with the cat and the dog, and then they finally get the meat store at the end, and the dog is like so big, the cat is like the dog eats all the meat, and he's on the table, and the cat's like, "Now I got you," and he puts the funnel in his mouth, and I
pours
didn't
the gravy.
forget the
The gravy,
gravy.
yes.
Right,
Thank
that'd
you.
be Palmer. We pour
Thank
the
you.
milk.
No
in.
one besides you has ever
Oh,
remembered
bro,
that
that's one of the best. That's one of the best. I love the whole part of the scam in the beginning where the dog and the cat are working together.
And then the dog takes over and starts beating the cat.
You know, he just beat the guy.
every
Shut
time.
up!
It's actually, I think, another dog.
Yeah.
It's actually another dog.
Yeah, actually, you're right. You're right. And it's like a
It's a
Weasley,
really small
dog, and it's cute. He puts him in the basket. It's got the trap door on it. People
abuses
pick him
the
up
crap
like,
out
"Oh my
of him.
god, look at this cute
Yeah.
little dog!" And he pulls
Makes
the
the
fucking
doors work.
Yeah. Makes them steal money. Basically, I think is what it is. They finally hit the big time.
Yeah.
They hit the mother load. They buy a meat store.
And they get the hook up with a butcher.
And they're like, rows and rows and rows of meat. It's classic. I wish I knew the name of it. We could find it. I'm sure that's
It's definitely
all you
Warner
gotta do is,
Brothers. It's
this time
definitely
I didn't
Warner
forget the
Brothers
gravy.
cartoon.
This time I didn't forget the gravy.
Yeah,
I
sure.
guess now I found the clip that I'm going to put in this episode. In the beginning, no,
Try Google.
no.
Okay, Google.
Bob loves the OK Google. Anyway,
Okay, Google. This time I didn't forget the gravy. Yeah, found it.
well,
You got
it
the
is the
YouTube one.
internet.
Yes.
If you didn't find it, we would be really having a problem. But so I will slip that in to the beginning of the episode, and people can wait all episode to try to figure out why is that in there. Which sometimes I don't know if anybody ever figures out why I put it in the beginnings. Like if anybody, that's the thing I think about it. Like it's such an offhand reference that makes no connection in the beginning of the episode. That if there's a
Right.
reference later on, do you remember?
Remember the intro.
Do-
Remember the tagline.
like does anybody make that connection ever? Unless you re-listen. Unless you
Yeah.
listen to the episode, they go back to the beginning just to see what the tag was.
Right.
Like, does anybody have that kick in? But
I don't
okay.
know.
Yeah, I mean,
I usually
I've
get them
gotten the
when I see them.
references.
Sometimes you've caught it like later on in the episode where it's like, oh, that's why he put that in. I mean, some of them are obvious because it's like we talked about MacGyver for 25 minutes, and then it was a MacGyver clip, and then a MacGyver commercial. It was obviously MacGyver themed, although one of our least listened to episodes, but
Yeah.
whatever.
And if you put certain, like you put a lot of highlights in the show notes, so I usually sometimes read through those first, and then I know sort of what's going on.
Fair enough. Smart gal.
Cheater.
Cheater.
I just hit play on that shit and let it
I'm
go.
committed. I'm more of a fan than you. I go in blind. I take the risk.
I think I would then qualify as more of the fan because I read the stuff. I appreciate Bill's work of putting in show notes.
I go back and read it after the fact.
Yeah, sure you do. You go back and say whatever you want to say at the end, just like you did now. You just go back and I know I do that too.
You know what? I do listen to the episode basically twice.
That is true. You do make the clamor clips. So
Few.
Just a few, just a few. Inside of those 700 that you make on a regular basis, 100 from this show. So nice of you.
Yes.
Well, one of the things I did forget to do that doesn't really matter too much. I can do it now. Is just let people know where they can what they should, the official business kind of a thing that we normally do at the beginning. I kind of skipped over it a little bit, but it's fine.
You got all excited because Steph was here.
Yeah, I mean, basically, it's really, it's kind of what it is. I went to the
and then she just took over the show.
She was just like so fucking rude, right?
Really, just give a girl a microphone, man.
I'm not going to blame it on the girl because I've had some guys on here. I've had some guys on here who take over the microphone. Let me tell you. All right, so
you got one on right now.
Oh shit! She's probably talking about both of us. Anyway, okay.
She could be.
I think she meant me, but that's all right.
Right. Actually, well, that's true.
She's talking about Dom.
All right.
When Dom actually shows up.
When he's actually here. When he's actually here, he's the quietest guy. Let's go into doing this stuff real quick. So, people, we did mention in Preacher vs. Preacher earlier on in the show. If they want to go check that out, they can find that on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play Music. They can follow the Preach vs. Preach Twitter account if they're on Twitter and they want to do that. They should follow us on Mixlr as well. Excuse me, belching. It passed. mixlr.com/wicked-theory. That's where we do live episodes, where we do them. And the plan is to try and do some more on a more spontaneous kind of setup. I didn't know what was going to happen this week with this episode until about an hour before we started. So I was like, do I do that? Do I not do that? And I was like, no, let's not do that this week.
Good planning.
Thank you. Once in a while. So that's it for us. That's it for the show. Let's say thank you to our guests for coming. Thank you, guests, for coming. Steph from the Gotham Lights podcast. Find her over there. Find her on Geek Up and Go. Steph, give out your Twitter handle and your website or whatever other things you got there.
Sure. Twitter handle is @BadWolfBay87, and then website FromBrainToKeyboard.com.
Very nice. Anything else? Anywhere else we can find you, or you want to plug or anything?
Well, you already said Gotham Lights, which
That's
I do
true,
with
true.
my co-host Henno, so that's @Gotham Lights on Twitter. We also have a Facebook page, so you can check us out there.
And you guys are on iTunes and Stitcher and other spots?
Yep,
Or-
all the things.
all the big ones, all the big hits, all the popular spots.
And Palmer, we know where you live, so
Yeah, so fuck him, right? Okay, fine. No, we'll give you a setup. We'll give you a plug. If anybody's interested in what this Agent Palmer actually is an agent of, they can go to agentpalmer.com and delve into his write-ups on geekery and whatnots. He's got some fun pages there. He's got some things that are not just that stuff. He's got a page. Is that listing public yet or no?
it's basically a page of pages.
The only one that is the public right now is the ProxyCast page.
Fair enough. They can check out the ProxyCast. That's kind of like where he puts episodes.
Page of pages.
Yeah, it is basically a link to pages. But what it is it's the links to the episodes of podcasts he's been on because he's a proxy caster. He doesn't actually have a podcast of his own because he's got those of other people.
Basically, he's a podcasting mooch.
Yeah, he's like the nomad or vagabond. Call him what you will.
Stay tuned. This one will be referenced soon.
Yes, soon.
Yes, it will.
To have a 3,000 word write up. No, we really appreciate
He's a vagacaster.
that too. No, that too. Yeah. Podless.
No,
no.
a no-caster.
No caster. Non-caster. Podmad. He is Podmad. I'll tell you that. Anyway, okay. Look, folks, just find him, follow him, whatever. He's good. He's nice people. But then for us, people can follow Bob at it's Bob. It's
at, you got it all confused now.
Ah, so
At
close.
Bob at Bob WTPC.
okay, very good. Because I never get it right, so I try to throw it to you, but I fucked you up.
And I actually fixed it because it used to be at
Yeah,
Bob
that's-
at WTPC.
Thank you. That's the thing. Because at the beginning, it was like, "Are you sure that's what it is?" And you're like, "No, it's like this." And I'm like, "All right, I have
And
no clue."
I checked it, and it was
It was a little jumbled up. It was a little jumbled up.
This makes it less confusing.
Very good. And then people, if they for some reason want to follow me, they can. They can follow me at Wicked Theory on Twitter, wickedtheory.com for episodes of this, of Preach vs. Preacher. And then I'm not going to plug the other guys because they ain't here, right? I mean, and I know Ed might listen this long to hear it. So hey, Ed.
Hi, Ed.
Yeah, hi Ed. And hi Dom, if you're here. And I think that's going to wrap us up. I mean, other than that, I feel like I had something else I wanted to drop in here real quick. I do not recall what it is though. So tough titties on me, I guess. Once again,
You'll remember it in about 15 minutes.
Yeah, as soon as I shut this down and it's done, that's when it'll all be like, oh, yeah, right. Shit. So, kids, that's going to wrap us up. Once again, thanks to Steph and to Agent Palmer for hanging out with us. Come back Monday. We'll have another one for you. That's it. Bob, play us out. Digging that jazzy version, baby. Digging that jazzy version.